the appointed time on August 14th, 2025. I'd like to call this meeting to order of the Doña County Planning and Zoning Commission. Roll call of officers, and hold off for just a minute because we've got one more coming. Okay, Diane.
Good morning.
Okay. Be that way. Okay, roll call of officers.
Commissioner Uranga,
Here.
Commissioner Lear,
Here.
Commissioner Garcia, Commissioner Fisher,
Here.
Commissioner Acosta, Vice Chair Zerniak, Chair Zargis.
Here.
Thank you.
Before we go any further, please turn off your electronics, any cell phones or tabs or anything. Commissioner Acosta just got here. Approval of changes to the agenda? Need a motion?
Move to approve.
I'll second that.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Zerniak, second Commissioner Lear. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Okay. Those opposed? Okay. Approval of minutes of the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting of July 24th, 2025. Motion, please.
I move for approval of the minutes of July 24th, 2025.
Motion, Commissioner Fisher, second
I'll second that.
Commissioner Lear. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Old business? Nothing. New business, case V like Victor 25-006.
Chair, real quick, before we start, facility sent out an email yesterday that there is going to be some fire alarm system testing. So if the alarm does go off, we don't have to rush out of here. They're just testing the alarms unless somebody from security comes in here and gets us, but they're just testing for now.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Please raise your right hand. Please state your name and address for the record.
Christopher Valencia, 845 North Motel Boulevard.
Do you affirm the testimony that you're about to give is the truth under penalty of law?
I do.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, Chair.
Morning.
For our first case today, we have item 5A, case number V25006. The property owner is Norma Lopez at 275 West Taylor Road, north of Las Cruces. It's a D1 low-density residential zone, and it's a variance to a 6-foot wall, where 4 foot in the front is allowed. Here is the home on Taylor Road, 3-acre parcel right there. This is the land use. The home is in the front, just no planting in the back, and here's Taylor Road, as well as right in front, Merv's Lane, coming right down to that. Subject parcel is subject property is a 3-acre parcel located in the D1L, D1 zone, and currently has 2,822 square foot residential home built in 2005. There currently is a 4-foot fence around the entire property. The surrounding area is semi-rural, low to medium density residential neighborhoods, and around Taylor Road, also known as County Road 243, is a 40-foot right-of-way road, county maintained road. The surrounding area is rural with large parcels, developed land as single-family residential uses. The rock wall was built approximately 5 foot from the edge of the road of the asphalt road, and as well as the records show that the residence was built in 2004. Archived aerial imagery shows the front and east side rock wall being constructed in mid-2005. And here's, you can see the front of the rock wall in discussion, as well as coming all the way to the back. There is a road right aside the rock wall. Zoning map, the entire zone is D2. There's a mixed use as well, a mobile home park right in the front going down Merv's Lane, right there. On May 22nd, 2025, applicant Norma Lopez submitted her variance request for the front yard rock wall fence height. The applicant is proposing a 6-foot tall rock wall fence where 4 foot is required in a D1 zone. This is the site plan and the rock wall fence here that they drew in. And this fence as well, the rock wall fence goes all the way to the back, and that is a 4-foot fence. There were 19 letters of notification were mailed out on July 17th, posted with enough time in this New Sun on 13th of 25, and 3 letters of opposition and pictures were received for the variance, showing the rock wall and the rock wall being constructed. Here are the notification signs in front of the rock wall. Area notification, 200 feet from the property line, 19 letters went out. And what started this is there was an incident at the front rock wall fence. I'll let the applicant tell the story, but this is basically what started it. The road is about a foot higher than the rest of the yard, so therefore, this is what happened. A car crashed on top of the road, on top of the fence, I'm sorry. Basically, it's teeter-tottering into the client's front yard. This was sent from by the neighbors. The rock wall is being constructed. You can see here on the side of the house where there's a road to the back property. There's the 4-foot fence, but as well as the 6-foot that's already being built. This is well looking at the surrounding fences, but these are the surrounding fences that are 4-foot or 5-foot. There are no other 6 other foot fences in the rock wall fences in the neighborhood. Here's the 5-foot area in front of the rock wall. And this is just showing, what we're missing here is a clear sight triangle, and I'll explain that, and the rock wall being constructed. These are the applicable plans and policies for the criteria of the approval for variances and findings. Agency comments. The only concern is a clear sight triangle by the engineering as long as there's clearance and no issues. Building services as well, as long as they comply with the clear sight triangle rules and they have no issues. No comments from the Flood Commission, and fire prevention is just hoping that there is a single gate is provided that should not be less than 20 foot. To go back to the clear sight triangle, it's the application of a clear sight zone is critical on high-speed thoroughfares and on low-speed walkable thoroughfares with controlled intersections and right-of-way constraints per the Institute of Technology of Engineers, Sensitive Solutions. An area obstructed vision at street intersections and entrances, permitting a vehicle to see approaching vehicles to the right or left, nothing over 3 feet in height measured from the street at the lowest edge of the pavement shall be permitted to obstruct a sight line. This diagram here, just to show you to read it, we're going to say the street B is Taylor Road. Taylor Road is a local, or it's also classified as by the functional classification map, it is a minor arterial. At 35 miles per hour, it's a local road, and this is to get the distance for the horizontal, meaning X. So it being a local road at 35 miles per hour, it's 40 feet. So therefore, the distance from the corner, the exact corner out, should be 40 feet. For the Y area, meaning the vertical, if on the side street, so for street A, that is a local road as well, and that's 25, just because it's a local road. That's going to be, that distance itself is going to be 20 feet. So we're looking at the clear sight triangle being 20 foot in from the corner of Taylor Road, and then being 40 feet from the corner property line to the east and west. So we're looking at about 40 feet for the clear sight triangle. This is also a diagram just to sort of look at the sort of a general property line. You can go up to 6 feet on the side property. Then you start getting to the building setback to 5 feet from the property line. You're supposed to tear down to 5 feet, and then from the 5 foot to the front is a 4 foot wall. And this is the 4 foot wall that we're talking about. They're asking for a variance to go up to 6 feet, but yet we still need to maintain this clear sight triangle. Again, these are applicable plans and policies and the criteria for the approval. The variance will not constitute a grant of special privilege inconsistent with the limitations on other properties in the area. The applicant states that it's in the bold, the others in the area already have barriers that are 6 foot or greater, be it that they may be vegetation or combination of vegetation and or structure, it's still a barrier. Our staff, we found out that within the area of notice, there are no walls exceeding 6 foot in height, nor any violations of the clear sight triangle. For B2, the variance will not be detrimental to the public, health, safety, or welfare, or be materially injurious to properties or improvements in the area of notice. The applicant says, no, the variance will not be detrimental to the public health, safety, or welfare, or materially injurious to properties because a rock wall already exists in the area. The existing rock wall was damaged and is being repaired. I'll let him go through the rest of the comments and yield questions. For staff, the staff believes that if the clear sight triangle is not provided, it will create a health and safety issue and adjacent to the property owner not being able to see traffic approaching due to the 6-foot wall. Sorry about that typo. 3B, there is a physical hardship resulting from the size or shape of the parcel or from existing structures on the parcel. Client states that the existing rock wall fence was damaged by a vehicle that was speeding and ran off the road. The damaged fence is being repaired, and we are asking for the authorization to build a 6-foot rock wall for property protection. Moving the rock wall further back off the property line would be costly. We are asking for an extra 2 feet because the traffic coming off Merv Road results in lights shining directly into our home. The extra foot would provide at least some blockage as the road sits higher as mentioned in number 2 above. In addition, we have noticed that between Doña Road and El Camino Real, people are driving extremely fast, appearing more like a drag strip. This type of driving is what caused the damage to the existing rock wall in the first place. Furthermore, we have seen increased walking traffic in this area of people that do not reside in this neighborhood. The extra foot in height would further provide peace of mind and more safety to the residents. The staff says there's no physical hardship resulting from the size or shape of the property, from the existing structure, or topography features. Staff believes that these variances self-imposed. The variance upholds the purpose and intent of this chapter. Public safety and welfare are secured. It's to create orderly, harmonious, economically sound development in order to promote the health, safety, and general welfare of the residents of the county. The staff believes that granting of the variance will not uphold the spirit and intent of the UDC. Our analysis, staff analysis, the subject property is a 3-acre parcel located in a D1 low-density residential zone. The surrounding area is rural with single-family residential neighborhoods. Subject property butts up to Taylor Road, a busy county road with a lot of traffic. The applicant is repairing the damaged fence and is including the request to build up to 6 foot, which will protect the property and family. The 6-foot fence would also block direct lighting from traffic that drives down Merv's Lane toward Taylor Road. And the extra foot in height would provide peace of mind and more safety for the family. Our findings are the property is outside of any incorporated municipal zoning, so therefore can be heard by the P&Z. It has jurisdiction to hear. The pursuant to 350-104, administrative authorities and duties, the Planning and Zoning Commission may receive, hear, and make final determinations to approve with conditions or approve and deny applications for variances as prescribed by and subject to the procedures established in the UDC. The proposed 6-foot rock wall fence must include the clear sight triangle at the intersection of Taylor Road and roads along the subject property line. Public notice requirements have been met as prescribed by 350-207 variance, and the variance does not meet the 350-207 findings of Doña County, Chapter 350 UDC. So therefore, based on the findings of fact, staff analysis, and agency comments, staff recommends denial of the case, V25006, for the variance of 6-foot rock wall fence where 4 foot is required, the front of the property. This concludes my presentation.
Sorry, questions for staff?
Go ahead. So with the 6-foot wall, the definition of the, I guess the V,
Yes.
it's not, it wouldn't be compliant with being the 6 foot, correct?
It would not. We have no problem with the 6-foot variance in terms of the height. What we're finding out is that this variance is for the height of the entire fence, but it wasn't realized by the applicant that the 3-foot site triangle was required. So therefore, this is a variance for the 6-foot, but also for the 3-foot, for the site triangle as well. It's a variance for the site triangle. The 6-foot is, there have been previous, let me backtrack. There's no problem with the 6-foot tall fence on a community development. We're just more interested in the clear site triangle that's required.
Understood, thank you. So let's go back to the table, the clear sight triangle table.
Yes, here you go.
So
why are we looking at two different tables? Isn't it one or the other?
The top table is for Street B, and it's showing the X, which is the horizontal distance. For Street A,
And the speed on Taylor is what?
35 miles per hour.
Okay, so, but the applicant said, or an opposition said, people are driving even faster.
Correct. So this distance here is for X, and X would be from this point, which this vary here, this measurement varies. So it being a local minor arterial road at 35 miles per hour, that's a 40-foot distance from this point, east and west. And then for the measurement for Y, which is the north and south for Street A, which is the dirt road adjacent to the rock wall fence, this distance is, because it's a local road, and it's a dirt road, mind you, that is a private road, but it's no faster than 25. I mean, so we're looking at a measurement of 20 from the vehicle up to Taylor Road.
So Christian, what's the setback, front setback on these properties?
Front setback is from, the primary structure is 15 feet from the primary structure. By this image here, the applicant is able to, if the applicant pulls back 5 feet from the property line, you could automatically go up to 5 feet. So the setback for a fence is 5 foot, but for an edifice, for a structure, it's 15 feet. For the fence, it's 5 feet.
So they meet the setback requirement.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we did give the idea that if you push the wall back 5 feet, that you could go up to 5 feet and then have a clear, it's just like rebar or something that you could see through, and that would help. But the fence that was constructed on the property line back in 2005 already has a foundation there. So pushing it back would be more costly.
Chair, and just to clarify, it's 20 feet on the front foot setback.
Oh, yes, 20 feet.
Excuse me.
Again, Albert?
Go ahead. Please raise your right hand, state your name and address for the record.
Morning, Albert.
Good morning, Commissioners. Albert Garcia, 845 North Hotel Boulevard.
Do you affirm the testimony that you're about to give is the truth under penalty of law?
I do.
Thank you.
20 feet for the front yard setback.
For the-
It's 20 feet, instead, I said 15, it's 20 feet for the primary structure setback,
But not the wall.
but not the wall, correct?
Christopher?
Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me. In other words, to go to the 5 foot, you'd have to go back another 5 feet.
Yes, ma'am.
What if you went with a 4 foot and went the 40 feet or whatever is required in, and then gradually went up to a 5 foot? Is that doable?
Yes, it is. And the applicant, the homeowner are both here. Okay.
Any further questions of staff? Okay, we hear from the homeowner or the applicant, please.
Thank you.
Chris?
And then you can just go, get this down, you can talk, and then
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please raise your right hand, state your name and address for the record.
Bob Gallegos, 275 Taylor.
Do you affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth under penalty of law? Thank you.
Good morning.
Morning.
It's a simple deal here. I'm not used to this kind of stuff here, so. But I'm going back basically on safety. Speed limit is 35. We're talking anywhere from cars going to 60 to 80 miles an hour. And that's the main concern here. I know there were some issues brought up about school buses. I don't think that's gonna be an issue because it's a straightaway. Talking about the side road, the private across, it's one resident. It's not an intersection. It's not an intersection. And coming back, what I'm worried about This car is coming from Merv's Lane. I know they do stop, but what I'm worried about is cars going 60, 70 miles an hour. And what's gonna happen, I don't want their cars in the yard. Precisely. That Sunday this happened, I was actually in the backyard cooking when I heard something. And I kind of freaked out. I thought, good thing I wasn't in the front yard. And that kind of got my attention where I think I need to take initiative to do something. You know, there's some issues talking about people walking. I personally would put myself in that situation walking on Taylor Road. I mean, unless I'm on a death wish, but I won't do it. That's all I have to say. The big concern here is the speed factor. I know the sheriffs try to do their best, but I know their force is probably, you know, limited. But it just, it's become such a, I think it's dangerous myself. And I just want to protect the property. And if there's a wreck, whatever, I don't want him in my yard. And I hope nobody gets hurt. Thank you. Thank you.
Commissioners are just, I don't think they can hear.
Sorry, I hit my mic with the folder. I apologize for that. Any further questions, comments from, come on. Thank you, Eileen.
Good morning. Please state your name and address for the record.
Tony Montano, 290 West Taylor Road.
Do you affirm the testimony that you're about to give is the truth under penalty of law?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Norma's neighbor right across, and I've been there for 34 years, I believe. I have property at 290 Taylor Road, 310 Taylor Road, and 210 West Tundra, which is off Merv's Lane. I have been involved in 2 accidents. Last week, I was almost run over by a car while I was on my tractor. I've had a vehicle go through my yard about 160 feet. It's, as Bob said, it's very, very dangerous. Taylor Road is a drag strip. If you look at Taylor Road from Valley all the way up to Camino Royale, for instance, or even up to Elks, if you come off Valley and you're heading east, the road has railroad tracks. It has culverts that have dips in it, so it slows down the traffic. It also has a little bit of a turn. But when you get to Doña Road at that stop sign, which many years ago I was a firefighter with Doña, and I went to many, many horrible wrecks there. It's just a straight shot all the way to Camino Royale. So I've spoke with a few of the sheriffs to try to get them to come and do something. We're not talking 70 miles an hour. I used to drag race. We're talking 90 to 100 miles an hour. And when I saw what was done to my property, I had to install an 18-inch well casing on the corner of Merv's Lane and Taylor. And I put it 4 feet deep and I filled it with cement. And I'm the same way. If somebody hits there, it's going to splatter all over the place, and it's going to go into our properties, and hopefully it doesn't kill somebody. I think Taylor Road, especially that section, has to have something done with it. Speed bumps, those little ripples that you put in the road, something, because it's very, very, very dangerous. The people that are building that's the thoroughfare to get from one side to the other side. All the other roads dead end into farmland. So I'm hoping that the commission will take that into consideration. All the neighbors I've visited with support the wall. We were very happy to see the wall go up. I think it improves our area. Norma and her family have kept that house spectacularly clean, and to have neighbors like that is very special. especially in the county. So I'm hoping that you'll take that into consideration. They're trying to protect their family and their belongings. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Raul Moreno, 315 West Taylor Road.
Thank you. Do you affirm the testimony that you're about to give is the truth under penalty of law?
I do.
Thank you.
I'd just like to also state that Taylor Road is very dangerous. I have a 12-year-old son who gets the bus at Mervs Lane and Taylor. And we've had cars I'm there with my son and just zipping through that area. And I've also made many calls to the Sheriff's Department, to the school board as well, trying to actually change that bus stop location. And Norma has kept her home impeccable. They do such a great job of maintaining their property. And it is an improvement, in my opinion. I don't think it's causing, we're talking about the line of sight, and I think it's just one neighbor who lives back there. So it's not an actual intersection that's often used. But it is, I think they're doing a great job with the wall. I'd like to see it constructed. I have no issues with that. But it is a dangerous street, and of course, I see the need for the improvement there, whatever it may be. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Anyone else?
Put the zoning map on so we can just see Mervs Lane. This is the Mervs Lane that we're talking about as well. And that's the subject property.
Can you put the site plan up?
Yes, sir.
So there's, the driveway has two entrances, and there's a third lane to the, I guess that's to the east.
This is correct. This is a path inside the home. It's of different colored gravel. And my understanding, there's a gate there, correct? Is there a? There was a gate there, correct? And there's only two entrances into the home, into the yard, and this is the front area. But I as well thought this was a driveway, and that's just a gravel where there used to be a gate there.
Do they want both entrances to have access to the road?
With the site triangles?
Just forget the site triangles for a minute.
Yes, sir.
They do want both of them to have access.
Correct. Both to have access to Taylor Road. And the main concern that also is this site triangle, but we keep on going to that because of the images that has been taken from this driveway right here. That is this image. From here.
Is that part of their property?
This is not their property. This right here, this is their property right here. Okay.
So, but they want both driveways to have access.
Yes, sir.
So, given what they've been saying, it's even more critical that clear sight triangles are there.
Correct. And there's an understanding, I've talked to the client about this, and there's an understanding that he's going to work with community development so we can give him the correct dimensions and the correct distance of what he needs to be at and the height he needs to be at. For the wall itself to be approved by community development, it needs to include.
So the problem is, if you need a clear sight triangle there for the two driveways, not one, the intermediate area, the area between the two driveways is going to have to be less than 6 feet.
Correct.
And then the area to the right and to the left of the two driveways is also going to have to be less than
Correct.
6 feet.
It could still be 6 feet, but you can see through. So then you're looking at probably a 4-foot wall fence or 5-foot wall fence with a see-through about a foot tall. So it could still be a 6 foot, just not complete, but you can still see through it at the corners.
So if, I'm not saying I don't know which way I'm gonna vote, but, so if we grant the variance, but say that the upper 2 feet have to be transparent, that satisfies community development.
Yes, sir.
And my concern is that given the distance, that there's almost no place where the wall can be 6 feet and not interrupt that clear sight triangle.
Plus the fact that the more sight you could see from the driveway, the less possibility of an accident or something. That seems to be the primary concern, is the speed on Taylor Road. And it would seem to me that a 6-foot fence would make it harder to see those cars coming at 80 miles an hour down Taylor Road. I have to say, I'm pretty familiar with that area. I live right up there. Anything else?
I don't know if the applicant wants to add anything.
Yeah. After hearing our concerns, would you like to address any of those concerns, sir? Yeah, we're talking about the traffic. We're also talking about transparency. If we go with 6 feet, is that a possibility?
It is a possibility. I think,
Wait, come up to the
Come up
mic,
to the
okay,
mic.
because they're recording it.
Yeah.
it is a possibility. I just never had a liking. If you're gonna have a rock wall, I like to have a rock wall. Now, you're talking about speed going 80, 90 miles an hour. Well, first of all, it's not an intersection.
No, I know.
You're gonna pull out slowly. I think if there's a map somewhere, if you look at Camino and Taylor, there's a bunch of brush there, and that's a heavy intersection. We're talking about just a private residence. As for pulling out, you're saying it's 80, 90 mile can be dangerous pulling out a driveway. First of all, they shouldn't be going 80, 90 mile an hour in the first place.
That's unfortunately nothing we can do, but
Well, but that's the deal. I mean, and I think the neighbors are agreeing, they see it. I mean, they can probably tell the color of the cars and the sound of the cars, who they are. And this is every day. We still have debris from that car in the yard till we do the final cleanup. They didn't clean it up. I'm gonna have to get one of my boys to do it.
Yep.
But that answer your question?
Thank you. Anyone else?
Good morning, Mr. Chair. It appears to me that there's several issues regarding this structure of the rock wall. One of them is the design. The next question I have is the level of highway on Taylor Road. And speed is a concern of most of the people here. So in consideration of that, speed swales would slow down traffic considerably. But for the safety and general welfare of the applicant, I have a possibility as a suggestion to redesign the entrance and the exit of his family and people entering Taylor Road. But if we can find out what the level of highway is there, is it county maintained, state highway, or what is it, Albert?
Taylor's county maintained.
Jared, that's a county maintained road. I believe the right-of-way is 40 feet wide. And the MPO classifies it as a minor arterial. So it's a county maintained road, 40 feet wide.
Okay. And if the applicant would come forward, I want to show you something. Share it with the commission as well. This really is a concern for both you and the general public. If you were to do it like this. You can have enough room to enter and enough room to exit, and tailor this down. Taper it up.
You're talking about taking the whole center section off.
Well, yes, in other words, you have to tailor this off, right? And tailor this off, and this could be your rock wall, and it protects you from safety concerns that you have, and you can come in and out in this direction.
So I would have to shut both driveways and just make one, is what you're pretty much saying.
There's a possibility. So maybe you might be able to massage that before we rule on it, maybe, massage that with, staff. And see if it will come, in compliance with the, clear site view triangle.
And that's your main concern, just the residents, that's your main concern.
And swales here. And swales here. Could slow down the traffic considerably for you and the general public.
Yeah, I have no control of that.
No, but we have. We can suggest that. Well, there you go, Mr. Chair.
I wish we had a visual of what I was talking about. There's no way to showing this.
I think Commissioner Acosta and the applicant were talking about was the possibility of redoing the driveways to maintain the site triangles, et cetera. And I think that would be more for the applicant to discuss with staff and those possibilities if the variance were denied.
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead,
excuse me a second.
Commissioner
Sean,
Acosta.
can you step forward?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Sean Vick, 845 North Motel Boulevard.
Do you affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth under penalty of law?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Chair Charges,
Morning, Sean.
Commissioners, Commissioner Acosta. Good morning.
Oh, I'd like to show you this and see what your take is on it.
Chair, I'm just gonna, state that I don't know how we can do this without having whatever's being shown to Sean Big available to the public.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
I think at this point, it's better to,
I kind of have an idea, if you don't mind, Commissioners,
ahead.
that I might be able to give a brief visual display. So I believe what Chair Acosta is trying to say is where the driveways are, to meet the clear site triangle, and it's 30 feet, if I'm not mistaken, for it, is keeping that at a 3-foot high distance for the clear site triangle. We see this numerous times along the road. So if this is the driveway coming out, everyone can see, okay, driveway coming out. The wall would be 3 feet tall on both sides, meeting the clear site triangle, okay? Then it can be tapered up to the height that he's requesting. The issues that I see is the 2 driveways and then the other driveway to the east to where you're gonna have to taper that back down as well. And again, I'm not suggesting anything for the applicant, but we've seen this numerous times on Doña Road and other roads to where we have to meet clear site triangle coming out of properties or an intersection. With the heavy traffic, if he was to get with an engineer, and I know it may cost some money, he could possibly be looking at some 6x6, 8x8 steel columns to fill with concrete to place inside that rock wall to meet that distance and still have some metal in between there so you can see as you pull out, because that's a major concern for the driveway and for the residents. And again, I've seen this numerous times throughout my career. That would give enough stability probably for the vehicles coming through there with steel bollards up out of the rock wall, still maintaining that option, meeting the clear sight triangle. So he does have a lot of options, and I'd be more than happy to sit with the applicant, go over some stuff to meet the intent of what we're looking at here today.
Any questions?
So the major issue is the ability to see oncoming traffic.
That is correct, yes, sir.
And it seems like the simplest solution is to take that extra 2 feet and somehow make that transparent, but strong enough to satisfy the applicant.
That would be up to the applicant, yes, sir. And to meet the requirements. If I'm not mistaken, clear sight triangle is 3 feet tall.
Yes.
Then the D1, the zoning allows for a 4-foot high fence is what we're looking at. So for that 30 feet on both sides of a driveway in the intersection has to be that 3 feet. Then you can have transparency above that. So if you wanted to approve something taller than the 4 feet allowed, you could certainly do that, making the exception that it has to be transparent and see-through. That way, we don't have any issues.
So Sean, the wall that was there before the accident, was that 4 feet high?
It's hard to say. I'd say 3 feet maybe, if we're looking at that.
They're saying it's a 4-foot fence.
It was a 4-foot fence.
Correct.
But because Taylor is a foot higher,
That is correct.
the effect was that it was 3 feet.
3 feet, yes, sir, correct.
Okay. All right.
Anything else?
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you. So I'll make a motion on V25006 for approval with the proviso that the additional height above what's required for the clear sight triangle be transparent, and to work that out with staff.
I'll second that motion.
We have a
So
motion.
you're suggesting to redesign?
I'm suggesting that the fence, the simplest and cheapest solution is to have the fence be transparent. No moving driveways, no moving landscaping, none of that stuff. That's too complicated. It would be safer if there was only one entrance.
That's what I suggested to you, right?
But you're imposing a significant cost, because they'd have to take down the wall that's there now. And they said there's a foundation there.
Well, tabling and delay massage all of this wouldn't be a bad idea, however, so we can have a clear view as to what we're going to be voting on. Certainly, there may be other properties that are going to have the same problem that we have just encountered. So,
Which is why this is a variance. What? Because we have the 4 foot.
I have a question on the motion.
Go ahead.
Are we saying that the transparent part of the fence needs to run the entire length to complete the 6 feet? Or are we saying that the transparent is only through the clear sight triangle and then they go to 6 feet with a rock
I
wall?
think,
back?
I think for uniformity and ease of construction, you would just run it the entire length. If you look at the 2 driveways and that 3rd driveway to the east, if you started varying the height of the wall, it's not going to work. Number one, from a personal perspective, I don't think it would look very good. But number two, I think it would be cheaper just to run it straight across.
Except that the applicant was wanting some kind of blockage of lighting, and that,
The problem there is that if you put the 6-foot wall to block the light from Mervyn Lane, that's where he's talking about, you won't be able to get the clear sight triangle on that 3rd driveway.
okay.
Any other questions or comments on the motion?
Mr. Chair, I have a question.
Commissioner O'Leary.
What we're voting on is different than what the applicant has requested.
Right?
So my question is, if this motion is passed and the applicant does not wish to do that, where does this stand?
Mr. Chair,
Well, Sorry, go ahead.
Wait a second.
This is a suggestion, okay? We have several glitches, all right, already. We can see that. The thing is that maybe the applicant may want to postpone this until they, with Sean and engineering, so we can have a clear-cut yes or no vote, okay? And maybe the applicant should come forward and ask us, see if you'd like to do that, postpone it for a future date. Come forward, please.
You know, I'm willing to work with the county, Sean, Chris, whoever, and we can come up with a solution. Just like Robert was saying, if we do move the rock wall, first of all, the two driveways, there's only one that we use, a big one. I use it for equipment. Hard to use. We only need one because it's wider. I believe it's 6 feet wider. But if we come, I'm willing to talk to them, plan out a deal, and we can kind of come up with design. I'm willing to do that and set a further date.
Thank you.
So we'd be doing the conditional, we approve the 6-foot request with the clear at the top, the clear view at the top to comply with the clear sight triangle.
Which is the motion that Commissioner Zoniak has suggested, that it's conditional, okay? As the applicant says, now if the variance were totally denied, then of course the applicant has the right of appeal and to continue working with staff and or appeal up and take these other things, okay? So that's basically where we're at. We have a motion on the floor for conditional approval, taking in the heights to comply with the site triangle, or we can deny the variance and the applicant can go back to work with staff and come up with a good solution that works for him and also provides safety for anyone coming in and out of those driveways with the speeders on Taylor Road. With that,
Chair, just
clarification.
for clarification, the motion that's being set forward, is that just for the front property line, or is it also going to include that portion of the eastern property line that abuts the road, the driveway that's there?
The way I understand it, it's the entire front property line.
Okay.
I mean, you have to give a clear sight to that eastern driveway. So they can't put a solid wall there either.
Okay. Thank you.
And I think from a design aesthetic, it's easier to run it the entire length of the front property line.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
it's easier and cheaper.
if the applicant does not want to do the clear view, then he's required to stay with a 4-foot wall
Exactly.
and bring down what he's put up down to 4 feet.
That's right. Yep. Thank you for that, Teresa.
Chair,
Okay,
Chair, I have a question. But yet, if we deny the variance and he still wants to build to the 6 foot, even though he works with us, if the next steps were that he was to work with community development and we come up with a design, and he still wants to go to the 6 foot, wouldn't we be back here again in a few weeks to ask for the variance for the 6 foot?
I think so. Yes, based on the UDC, we would have
But
to
if-
do another
if we
variance.
approved
This
it with-
variance would have to be denied and then come back.
But if we approved it with conditions, then,
If we approve the conditional thing, then that's it. He just works with staff.
And it can go to 6 feet as long as it's transparent.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Yes.
Right? So, and I think that the applicant's made it clear that he's willing to work with you, engineering, and Sean to make sure that it meets your satisfaction. Okay?
thank you.
So we have the motion on the floor, conditional approval, going to 6 feet if the top 2 feet are transparent all the way around. Heard that correctly? Okay, call the question, please.
Commissioner Uranga,
Yes.
Commissioner Lear,
Yes.
Commissioner Fisher,
Yes.
Commissioner Acosta,
No.
Vice Chair Zerniak,
Yes.
Chair Zarges.
Yes. So the motion passes. The conditional passes. You work with staff and get your fence set up the way you need it. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chair, we have addressed one issue only. The issue of speed. Everybody was talking about speed on that highway. There's no answer on the level of highway. We don't even know what the traffic count is on that highway.
I think that's when he's working with staff and that they would get the sheriff's department and such.
Let's do a what if.
I drive Taylor Road almost every
I
single
know,
day.
but let's do a what if. What if somebody goes by there after we rule on this and somebody gets T-boned there and gets killed on a yes vote? I mean, that's only a what if.
Yeah,
It's a rhetorical question. It doesn't have to have an answer. But I'm saying, I'm posing this.
No, I agree with you, which is why, I mean, my first inclination was to vote no to deny this variance until we got involved with all the stuff in studying.
But that's why I asked.
And unfortunately, we, as a planning board, don't have a lot to say about speed, planning bumps, speed bumps, enforcement of code from the sheriff's department. I think this is something they need to get more involved with on there. And I know, I live in that area. I drive Taylor Road every day. Commissioner Lear does as well, I think. And we're well aware of those dangers. Unfortunately, I think it is beyond our remit as a planning board to get involved in the speeding, although it's definitely a consideration here when we're talking about the visibility and such from your driveways, which is, our safety is our primary concern with that. Go ahead, Robert.
I was just going to say, we've done this before on other properties. And I think it's not a perfect solution.
No, it's
but
not.
it addresses the problem of being able to see the traffic. That's the issue. Whether somebody's driving 35 or 85.
There's a big difference.
Yeah.
Big difference. Okay. So we have conditional approval of the variance. Moving on. Case V is in Victor 25-007.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Good morning. Please raise your right hand. State your name and address for the record.
Charlene Santisteban, 845 North Motel Boulevard.
Do you affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth under penalty of law?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. We have before you case number B 25007 is a variance. And the owner is David Eason. The location is 5045 Eason Lane, east of Las Cruces. It's D2 zoning. The request is for a variance on an 8.82 acre parcel with an accessory dwelling totaling 1,280 square feet that exceeds the 800 square feet allowed, which is 20% over the 800. This is location map. The land use aerial. The subject property is 8.82 acres located within a D2 medium density residential and currently has a 6,894 square foot site-built residence constructed in 1998. The property has an existing space for a mobile home removed years ago in 1993. A special use permit was approved for an accessory dwelling in an ER4M zone in the ETC. The D2 zone allows an accessory dwelling by right not to exceed 800 square feet. The applicant is installing a 16 by 80, 1,280 square foot mobile home that exceeds the 800 square feet allowed. The UDC was amended, well, you know this. The D2 zone is the only zone not to be included in the amendment to allow an 1,800 square foot accessory building, and we are addressing this in our next update for the UDC. The contiguous, there's a contiguous parcel that's zoned light industrial, and it's a lot for vintage vehicles that are not fixed up there in raw condition by Mr. Eason. A letter of administrative temporary relief was given to Mr. Eason to allow the mobile home to be placed on the property for storage only until the variance request was heard. This is the parcel. This is the parcel, and these cars here have been removed because they have to be located here. This is where the industrial zoning is at. And this is the zoning map. On June 26, 2025, applicant David Eason submitted a request for a variance to install a 1,280 square foot home. This is the overall site plan. The home that he has is closer to, it's in this area here. And this is where he's parking the mobile home. It's clear across. 16 letters of notification were mailed to area properties on June 23, 2025. Notice was posted in the Las Cruces Sun-News on July 22, 2025. Signs were posted on the property in a timely manner. No letters of opposition for support were received or opposition. This is the subject parcel. It's a mobile home. This is the front of the mobile home, and that's the existing primary home. And this is the entrance, and there's the lot with the vehicles on there. And these are the adjacent properties. There's the southwest, the transfer station there, to the east and to the west. Those are the adjacent properties. Across from them, it's vacant land, and behind them, it's vacant land also to the west. This is Eason Lane, north and south. And this is the area of notification. And these are the applicable policies and criteria. And the agency comments, there were no violations. Zoning went out there and they did check to see if those vehicles were removed. Let's see, staff analysis. The variance will not constitute a grant of special privilege inconsistent with the limitations or other properties in the area of notice. Granting a variance for a 480 square foot overage based upon the existing limit of 800 square feet for an accessory dwelling on a single piece of property will not constitute a grant of special privilege, inconsistent with the limitations of other properties in the area. The mobile home that was at this site was previously was 14 by 60, and this mobile home is 16 by 80. The accessory dwelling is located in the northeasternmost corner of an almost 9-acre parcel of land, where the existing home on the parcel is located at the southwestern portion of the almost 9-acre parcel. Numerous other properties in the Butterfield community have multiple structures on much smaller properties, and that is true. Staff concurs this is not a grant of special privilege as there are necessary dwellings in the area of notice. The variance will not be detrimental to the public health, safety, and welfare. There is no hazard to the public health, safety, and welfare, nor will this variance cause material injury to other properties or future improvement in the area of notice. This site, staff note, this site previously housed a 14 by 80 mobile home and has all the existing hookups. Number 3, there is a physical hardship resulting from the size or shape of the parcel or from existing structures in the parcel or on the parcel or from topographical or physical conditions on the site of the area. The mobile home installation adheres to the current setbacks, allowances for structures and properties. Furthermore, due to the size of the property, the new structure will have no impact upon the existing home, nor will it impact the future structures or adjacent properties. The topographical and physical conditions of the property have been taken into account, and there will be no hardship for the structure or surrounding area. Staff note, there is no physical hardship. However, the applicant previously received approval for a special use permit in 1993, and the mobile home will be placed in the same location. Number 4, the variance upholds the purpose and intent of this chapter. As for the public safety and welfare of the surrounding community, the mobile home is in good repair and poses no threat to the community safety, nor is it an eyesore to the bordering property owners. Staff note, the variance does uphold the intent of the UDC and public welfare and safety. Staff findings, the property is outside any incorporated municipal zoning or authority and is within Doña County. Pursuant to 350-104 administrative authority and duties of the planning and zoning, the commission may receive, hear, and make final determinations to approve with conditions, or deny applications for applications. The proposed 16 by 80 square foot mobile home exceeds 20% square foot accessory dwelling allowed in the D2. Public notice requirements have been met. The variance request does meet all the findings. Staff concern is not a grant of special privilege, as there are accessory dwellings in the area of notice. The site previously houses 14 by 80 mobile home. There is no physical hardship. The applicant previously received approval for the special use permit. The variance does uphold the intent of the UDC. Staff findings. Staff concurs that this is not a granted special privilege, as there are necessary dwellings in the area of notice. Finding 2, the site is previously housed a 14 by 80 mobile home. Finding 3, there is no physical hardship. However, the applicant previously received a special use permit. Finding 4, the variance does uphold the UDC. Staff recommendations, based on the findings of fact, staff analysis, and agency comments, staff recommends approval of case number V25007 for the variance. That concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Questions of staff? Commissioner Lear.
Mr. Chair, since this property, where they're going to locate this sits right on Easton Road, are they going to be using the existing driveway into this property, or is this going to be an additional driveway?
Yes, I saw that yesterday. I don't know, they will have to get a driveway permit. I don't know if Easton Road it's a county-maintained road because of the way station, so they will have to get a driveway permit to be able to access that secondary access.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Mr. Chair, so what was the special use permit for?
It's for the 20% over, they're only allowed 800 square feet.
No, the 1993 special.
To place I don't know, it's to place the mobile home on there.
But once the mobile home was removed, the special use permit
Yes.
is no longer in effect.
Exactly.
So there's not another accessory or another secondary building already?
No, there is not. They needed the special use permit in the ETZ for the mobile home. But with the UDC, they allowed that by right up to 800 square foot. And then we amended the UDC in all the other zones to allow 1,800 square feet. And so this one was overlooked, the D2.
Is that a mistake?
On yes, we just overlooked, we didn't see the D2 that it still had the 800 square foot. So we have to amend the UDC to bring it up to 1,800 square feet as right.
Okay.
Okay?
So we could actually approve this under the change mistake rule if we wanted to.
Yes, you could.
Okay.
Okay.
Other questions of staff? Can we hear from the applicant?
Do this thing?
Good morning. Please state your name and address for the record.
David Eason, 5025 Eason Lane.
Do you affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth under penalty of law?
Yes.
Thank you.
It's been a process, guys. I'm sorry for all the trouble. What was said here just now kind of settles it, that it was an oversight. I just asked one more thing. The sizes of the properties, I could never find where they were talking about a size of a property. You know, it could be a quarter acre with 2 dwellings, or it could be 10,000 acres, I found out. You know, so we were talking 480 square feet on almost 9 acres, and I was just freaking out. I'm like, what? This held this up 2 months, this whole process, and now we find out it was a mistake. So just common sense is all I ask, and thanks for all your help. You guys have a hard job. Any questions?
Thank you. Questions for the applicant? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? I'll open for entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I like to move based on findings of fact, staff analysis, agency comments. I would move that we approve case number V25-007 for a variance to exceed the accessory dwelling size and permit a 16 by 80 mobile home.
I second it.
Okay, so we have a motion by Commissioner Lear, second by Commissioner Fisher to approve V25-007. Any comments? Comments, questions on the motion? Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Uranga,
Yes.
Commissioner Lear,
Yes.
Commissioner Fisher,
Yes.
Commissioner Acosta,
Yes.
Vice Chair Zerniak,
Yes.
Chair Zargis.
Yes. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
And Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Acosta.
just for clarification, and I think, Sean, you might be able to answer that. If I have a parcel of land and I have a mobile home and a permit for that, and I wanted to move that mobile home to another, to the same, in the same parcel, but to another, for whatever reason, do I have to pull a permit for that? But if I move it out of that parcel, I have to have a permit, right?
Ensuring it's within the setbacks. Again, the mobile home is going to have pawning. That's one thing that the flood commission looks at. So if you're moving a mobile home 600, 800 yards on a large parcel, that flood, the pawning is going to have to be moved as well. So we take all that into consideration.
Chair, and then another issue might be like if they're moving the mobile home, you know, a great amount of distance within their property, they have to move around like electrical poles and all that. El Paso Electric, they're gonna want to see that mobile home permit before they go out there and do the connections.
Okay.
I'll just make the comment that we've run into several of these special use permits and accessory dwellings. And I think we need to do some work on the definitions and square footages and stuff in that as part of our upcoming work session.
I still want a
Commissioner
limit
Zerniak.
on special use permits, a time limit.
I think we had, didn't we have a comment that it was going to be in September or by September when things calm down a bit, that we would be looking at the UDC code?
We're
Is that
talking-
still our target?
I think so. I mean, Jenny's not here to answer that, but I recall her making that statement. I know we have a couple of big cases coming up, but September might be a little bit more easier.
It would be nice to have a target date.
Yeah, I think, well, I'll make a note of that, and maybe for the next meeting, we can come up with some kind of timeline of where we're at with the amendments.
Thank you, much appreciated.
Thank you, Albert. Anything else? Okay, administrative approvals?
Good morning, Commissioners. If you look at the map, I mean, there's only 3 site-built homes which are identified by the yellow boxes. And then the blue one's a commercial one. That was just a tenant improvement off of Stern Drive. Other ones that are not noted on here on this map, there were 18 mobile home permits that were issued. And then when it comes to inspections and all that, you know, for July, we had 70 electrical permits that went out. We had 55 plumbing permits that were issued, 16 rock walls, you know, all of them were up there in Inspiration Heights, you know, the subdivision off of Holman Road. And then we had one addition to a cell tower, which was off of Doña Road. But those are just, you know, some of the major ones that we had for July.
Thank you. All of those rock walls were 6 feet without transparency, right?
We're gonna have 16 variances next meeting.
Okay, thank you. Staff input?
None at this point.
Thank you. Commission input?
Chair, let me backtrack a little bit. I don't know if most of you were aware, but recently, last week, we had our previous senior planner, Luis Armolejo, passed away. So services will be on Monday at 10 a.m. at Baca Funerals.
Who was that?
Luis Marmolejo.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? Look for a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Those in favor of adjournment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
I've scheduled a meeting with county manager